Hi everyone, it's me Nikki here, and can you believe the summertime is almost over? It is time to start preparing our kids for school. Whether they're starting elementary school, middle school, high school, or college, the time to start preparing is right now. I can't believe how fast the time is going. And so my friends at thegiftfairy.com and I, we had been talking a while back that we wanted to come together and collab on 2 videos in preparation for back to school. So my video here is going to focus on some organizational tips that have worked for me in the past and that are all in my head to help with preparing for back to school. I used to work at a school along with being a parent, so I do have some tips that I want to share. And thegiftfairy.com, they are just an awesome resource for some back to school items. And on their channel, and I'll put the link to their channel and video below, they're sharing some tips and ideas to help you with back to school shopping, back to school gift giving, back to school organizational things, all kinds of wonderful things. So be sure to check out their video. Along with, I have a special announcement in this video. So let's get started. Okay everyone, my first tip is a back to school binder, and this binder is actually going to be used throughout the school year for you to keep track of your kids as the parent. You can get these binders for $6 or less at any office supply store. Get you a beautiful binder to make it fun for yourself, to keep you organized for your kids. Don't use your refrigerator to store all that school stuff. Have an organized system for your kids. And so what I want to do is I want to quickly go through and kind of show you how to set up the binder, or what I feel is some of the important things to have in your back to school, or your school year, we can call it, binder. So the first thing, when you open the binder, I will put my back to school goals. As a parent, what goals do you have? What schedules do you want to put the kids on? What kind of things do you want to get accomplished during the summer? Have it here so that you can make sure that you're looking at it and you're accomplishing the goals that you have as a parent. Now on this next page here, I would put school calendars. On one side, I would put the district calendar for my district, and then on the back I would put the school calendar for each one of my children. So if you have 3 kids, have 3 sleeves and have each of their calendars there. You know, school calendars are very important, and the reason why I would have both of the district and the one that you get from the school website, and you can print off the school calendars from your kids' school website, is you can balance them off each other. Because if the district has certain things going on that you don't see the school has going on, you have knowledge of all of it because you have both calendars. If any dates are inconsistent, you can clearly see that. And so that's a great thing to have. Another thing is to go to an office supply store and get your own calendar and put this in the next section. Now, not only is this serving as a calendar, it is your journal for your kids' school year for you. And so I would get these little positionable tabs if your calendar is not already set up, and just put, label your months on there. I would start my calendar with July because that's when you're starting your prep for the school year, and then go back, and that way you can go in school year order as month order. Now on my calendar, I would keep things like dates that they don't have school, dates that you're supposed to pack little Johnny's lunch instead of giving him lunch money, the days that he comes home and he tells you, Mommy, no homework. I would just put NH for Johnny, no homework. And that way you can see trends and consistencies like, okay, little Johnny has told me for 5 days straight he doesn't have homework. I need to call his teacher. I need to email his teacher. If you just quickly, put this in the kitchen, somewhere where you can, after you wash dishes, you can kind of look through, put any notes for that day on your child, and then you have a continuous record and documentation on your child, so that when you go to school conferences and things like that, you're prepared. You come off very prepared as a parent, and you keep not only the teacher on their game because they know you're prepared, but you keep your child on his game or her game. And I would, if they come home with test scores, I would write Jessica 89 math, and just have their little test scores written in the corner there. The day's report cards are supposed to come home, so that you have this kind of documentation ongoing for your child. And then when you go to conferences again, you're extremely prepared and you're ready to talk about your child, and you know what you're talking about. Again, you can also balance off consistencies with the school information, what they're giving you, such as, every day your kid is sick, write down Johnny's sick, and that way you have your record of the days that he stays stayed home sick. And then when the school is giving you their notifications that, oh, these are the days that he was home sick, you can balance them off against your notes, and then, you kind of keep track of things. So I really highly recommend this. And also get you some fun stickers. You can get them inexpensive for $1 to kind of make your calendar fun, and mark certain things like no school days and things like that. It's just make it your own. Make it a kind of journal of the school year to keep track of all of your kids' things. A great place, easy to do. Jot down something really quick every day on your kids, just whatever it is that went on, and you can see trends and consistencies with your child. And so then you go to the next section here, and this section here is actually where I would put lunch stuff. I would put the lunch calendar for each one of my children, what they're having as far as their lunch schedule, because if you see on Wednesday that they're having pizza and little Johnny doesn't like pizza, then to put on your calendar, give him lunch money or pack his lunch or whatever the case may be. You just have their lunch calendars easily there, ready, accessible for you to look at. And that's the great thing about this binder is you have everything in one place. It's not stuck on the refrigerator here, or stuck on a cabinet here, or, in a little Johnny's book bag, crumbled up in the bottom of the bag. But you have everything in one place. And with the lunch section here, I also get a little sleeve that you can get from an office supply store to keep lunch money in, so that you can easily get to their lunch money every morning if that's what you do, or if your school has lunch tickets that you have to pay with, or whatever your system is, you have a little sleeve here that you can kind of keep that in. Makes it very efficient and easy to get to. Now the next section here is for back to school shopping list. I actually made a template for you all if you want it on my website at AtHomeWithNikki.com under my printables, and it's a shopping list that kind of helps you kind of organize your shopping list, and you can just slip it in there. And then in the back I would keep any coupons, any school supply list, anything shopping related for back to school for the kids. That's the section that this would be kept in here. And so that's a very important section for the beginning of the school year, to kind of keep track of all of your shopping list and things like that, receipts and all kinds of things like that. And then next I would invest in a folder, which you can get these for $1 or so at Staples or anywhere, for each one of your children that are school aged or in college or whatever the case may be. And so what I would do is I would put each folder, all of them here, and I would label them with these little repositionable tabs with the kid's name on them, so that you know who folder belongs to whom. And so in the folder on the first side here, what I would have here is I would put all of my children's class information, whether their teachers' email addresses, I would put the list of classes, the school website, all of that contact information for that specific child I would put right here on this side here. And that way you have it when you need to email the teachers, it's right there ready for you. The next side here I would leave open for any signed papers. So when they bring signed papers home and things like that that you have to sign or send back and things like that, I would put that in there so that every night before you go to bed, you know to look in there, sign everything. You have a designated place for it. And so it's really important to do that. Even with your college student, if they send things that they have to have you follow up on, you can easily put it in there. You know where to go to get it. Everything is always has a place. Makes life so much easier for you and makes it so simple. And so I would have one folder specifically for each child, and behind actually their folder I would have more sleeves, and in these sleeves they would have sections. And I'm just doing this book as an example, but you can do it the way you want to do it. But one would be activities. I would have the schedules for any activities such as soccer, ballet, whatever it is they do, have those schedules there, and have a section that handles anything to do with their activities for that child. And then the next section here is where I would put that child's health information related to school, whether they have to get any health forms to do sports or for school, or shot records for school, or anything health related. I would put in another sleeve for that child. And then the next thing, I would put copies of report cards. I'd have a sleeve to put all of the copies of the report cards for that child, so that when they bring their report cards home for that period, I would make a copy, put it here. You always have it on hand so that you're ready to discuss whatever you need to discuss with the teacher when you're ready. So, everything that you have there is for that child. And then I would also do a sleeve for miscellaneous. They do fundraisers through the year and different things, and I would put all that information in that sleeve. And so all of this belongs to that one child and their folder. So I have their folder, and then I have their sleeves with all their stuff. Then you go to the next child, and it's the same concept. You put all of their school information in there, all of their, the section where you put all signed papers at, and then again, health information, activities, and all kinds of things. I would do this for every kid I had, except if they were in elementary school or if they were in college. I would set this up like that. You have everybody in one binder. It's good to go. I would totally refrain from putting schoolwork and drawings and all that in this. It's really not for that. It's just strictly for you to stay on top of your game as a parent during the school year. So I hope you found this helpful. Okay, my next tip is get back on schedule. I recommend 3 weeks before school start, getting back on that routine of school so that they're not having to adjust while they're adjusting to school. And so one of the things that I would do is definitely get back on those school bedtimes. 3 weeks before, I would get them back on their school bedtimes, along with meal times. You know, in the summer, we get kind of relaxed with meals and things like that. But 3 weeks out, I would start kind of fixing dinner back at the normal time, whether it's 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whenever, so that they can kind of get back on their schedule for school and they're not having to do that, all of that adjusting, you know, while they're in school, because, you know, they have enough kind of stressors with starting the new school year. So if they have their schedule already established and back rolling, it really takes a lot of pressure off you and also on them. Another thing that I would start is I would start practicing our morning routines. You know, especially if you have latchkey kids that they're kind of leaving the house after you, you want to get back and get those routines 3 weeks before school starts. Get back on the routines and do some run-throughs and, you know, kind of get that in place so that they are ready. Now, one thing I would recommend here is I would recommend having a driver ease board like this here for your door. And this is a tip that I highly recommend, especially if you have kids that are leaving the house after you. Because what you can do is you can simply just document quick notes every morning and say, hey, little Johnny, before you leave the house, before you open that door, you check everything off of this list. The pen is right there for him to make sure that he has everything that he needs for the school day. That's what, that, you know, that way you're not getting those calls at work. Okay, they forgot their lunch. You need to come give them lunch money, or if they forgot their gym bag, you know, it keeps them accountable. And also it makes, you know, you feel better, because if you're at work thinking, did they turn the lights off or did they lock the door or whatever the case may be, this kind of helps ease you a little bit. And you can also leave them a sweet note also as they go out for their day. But I feel that this is a good system to kind of have. It's a very inexpensive system to kind of have those reminders. And even if your kid, you know, you take your kid to school, still do this. While you're getting dressed, have them do their checklist here to make sure that they have everything accounted for their school day. I think it's just an easy reminder, a very inexpensive way to create a reminder to help your mornings run smoothly, and get them trained on this like 3 weeks out, and you'll be ready to roll. And these are so inexpensive. You can get them at Staples. Like, they have them for $1 at Staples. It has the pen with them. You just add your ribbon at the top and you're good to go. Great system for morning organization during the school year. Okay, I want to give you some quick shopping tips that I find helpful during the school year, but you probably already know about these also. My first tip is to definitely shop alone. You know, when you're buying those book bags and things like that, if you shop alone, you can get more quality and better pricing, because the kids are not crying to want those, you know, designer brands or the SpongeBob or whatever the case may be. And then plan a separate trip to buy maybe SpongeBob pencils and less expensive items to kind of give them that SpongeBob or whatever it is that they like, kind of themed look. But the bulk of your money for the expensive items, you know, if you go alone, you can get better money for them. Another thing is utilize that tax-free weekend in the United States. In the description box below, I've put a link to the website where you can find out in your state when your tax-free weekend is for 2013. So check that out in the description box below. And with your college kids, you know, you can load up on those weekends. And also those Bath and Body Works sales and things like that, stock up at that time when you can get those for $2.50 and $3 so that you can send with throughout the year. Another thing, only buy what you need when you need it. You don't need to buy winter coats when you live in South Carolina, because you're not going to use it to probably January, if then, you know, and you have time to search for sales. But right now, get the necessities of what you need. So I hope you found these little quick tips here helpful. And so let me share something with you that I wanted to kind of a little surprise. So I hope you will enjoy. The Gift Fairy just loves to sprinkle gifts around, and so they're going to give away a $50 gift certificate to shop on their website at thegiftfairy.com to one of our viewers. If you would like to know the requirements for this giveaway, please keep listening. Along with, they're in the description box below. Good luck to everyone. requirements are as follows. You must be a subscriber to both our channels, At Home with Nikki and thegiftfairy.com. You then only need to leave a comment on thegiftfairy.com's video on their back to school video, letting us know in that video what was your favorite item featured in the video. The deadline to enter is August 1st, 2013 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And unfortunately at this time, thegiftfairy.com can only ship within the United States. You can check out their website at thegiftfairy.com. The winner will be chosen using random.org. I hope you have a beautiful day. And this is Nikki saying goodbye.